I'm trying desperately to fill the frame the same way that you do. I feel like I never you put me on any video conferencing and I'm either like I look like a tic tac on the screen or I'm touched to the top of frame. We're about the same.
Well, what I do,
Right.
I have a webcam that is, so the screen is here, but the webcam is on its own stand in front of the screen. Sorry we're a little late, everybody. We did that whole opening already and then looked up in the corner. Well, to be honest, Ken looked up in the corner and went, guys, you're not live.
Apparently I was supposed to take us live, which I didn't know.
So that song, where did you find the music for our opening 30-second countdown?
Well, they're not paying us, but Canva has a library of music. I would use just whatever music, but then YouTube will take it down and future generations won't be able to enjoy what we're going to do here today.
Have we talked about this on the show, the whole playing a Disney song while you're being interviewed thing? Have you heard about this? Did we talk about this ever?
No.
Apparently, it is a thing that the savviest of Congress people know. If someone comes up to you on a day that you don't feel like answering questions, have prepared in your phone, ready to play on speaker, some Disney song. So that when an interviewer walks up to you, you start playing that song. They can interview you, but they'll never get a soundbite that they can use. Because Disney will sue them for playing the song without the copyright.
Senator, you've allegedly been found in a hotel room with 20 prostitutes and cocaine.
World, a new
Cut the camera. We're not getting it today.
Yeah. Thanks, Aladdin and Jasmine. Sorry, all those prostitutes.
Illegal payoffs, sir. I will find my way.
Senator, it has been, we have found, Mr. Menendez, we have found $500,000.
Everybody had 1,000 teeth, 1,000 tails.
All right. Bob Menendez pulled an Aladdin on us, everybody. We got to go. Hello, everybody. What's up, Leslie? Heyo. We are here. The reason I was asking about the music is that first song, it sounds like a polka version of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
It does.
There may come a time when a lass needs a lawyer, but diamonds are... Doesn't it? It's got... Now every time you hear that, you're going to hear that song.
That is all of it I hear. I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is our We Got This with Mark and Hal Town Hall. Please, the floor is yours. Come to us with any questions that you may have. This is not a place for topics, but it is a place where we will answer questions. And of course, our current reading, the obligatory question every time. Who are you reading? Yes, it is a Kate McManus question. Leslie jumped in and took the question from her.
Did you hear Jennifer drop? Did you just drop a transmission out there? She put it in her pocket, and the pocket had a hole in it.
A transmission?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It sounded heavy out here.
No, I get it.
She has a big phone.
She's carrying a mag light. She has that mag light attachment on her phone.
Yeah, she's a 2-foot wide phone. Her phone is just a plank with numbers on it.
Oh my God.
What are you reading right now, Mark?
Well, I just finished one that I very much enjoyed. Jay Shetty's 8 Rules of Love. A delightful therapeutic book, super fun, a joyful nonfiction read. Another nonfiction book I'm currently reading. So the one that I'm about halfway through now is Booker T and Teddy. Do you know about this book?
No.
It's the relationship between Booker T. Washington and Theodore Roosevelt. And I've not gotten to the point when they meet yet. The first half of the book seems to be a chapter on Booker, a chapter on Teddy, and their lives growing up before they converge. But the weird thing about it is, on the show I don't talk about politics, but my politics are probably no surprise to anyone who listens, generally speaking. I'm not a huge Fox News fan. And this book is written by Brian Kilmeade, who
Okay.
writes a lot of history books, and somehow he's very good at history. He's just terrible at current events. But history he will talk about, and in a, the Civil War was about slavery. He will make claims that Fox News never would make. But it's a really great book about the relationship of the two of them. Hal?
I got hooked into years ago a series of books by the mystery writer, suspense writer Harlan Coben.
Mm-hmm.
He's written a few different books, but he has a series of books about a former basketball player who's become a sports agent named Myron Bolitar, who winds up solving mysteries. I think he also was like a detective for a while or whatever, but or had like some government background. They're really fun. They're witty, good collection of characters, and they stopped at a certain point and he shifted to other things. And unbeknownst to me, in the last year or two, he released a new book called Home. So,
and how long has it been since he released one?
I feel like it was at least like 5 years, maybe more.
Nice.
Probably a lot more than that. Because I was like, wait, they should make more of these. And I was convinced at some point these will make a great series of books or series of films starring Ben Affleck, but never happened.
Look, he just had his basketball adjacent movie. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Kind of gut wrenching, but good.
I didn't see it.
It's gut wrenching, but good.
How is it gut wrenching? The one about the Jordans? I have Jordans.
No,
it's a happy ending.
One, oh, I thought you were talking about the one where he coaches a high school basketball team that he's the star and he's an alcoholic.
Oh, no. That one I'm thinking. So you mean Hoosiers or Hoosiers 25, whatever it's called?
Hoosiers Daddy.
Yeah.
That's the sequel.
This was fun. I'll see you later.
Go. Well, the movie Mark was talking about is Air, everybody.
That's true. The movie is called Air.
Love that movie. Love it.
I love this question. Recent new thing. Food, acquisition, or experience?
I went to Seattle.
Yes, you did.
Oh, and I drove an electric car. That was an interesting experience.
Was that the first time you'd done it?
First time I'd ever driven an electric car. Not the first time in Seattle, obviously.
Right.
I learned that in cold weather, very cold weather, there's a lot I didn't know that I've learned since. But it was a really fun driving experience. And if you go to a really cold area with a bunch of ski resorts, just go up there with as much charge as possible, because otherwise you will wind up at a gas station in 3-degree weather, constantly getting in and out of the car to try to make sure it's charging, and then you can't feel your hands or your face.
Yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah. Wouldn't trade it for anything, though.
Yeah. Now, but you were telling me about this whole charging thing before. Were you in one of the fast ones? Were you in a level 3 or a level 1 charger?
It was a level 2. It was a level 2 charger. So it got enough to get us down the mountain, but there's like a whole thing. You have to precondition the battery. Like, you actually start the car first for a little while. The battery gets warmed up, then it charges better. It's all stuff I've learned since. It's fascinating. The whole world is fascinating. And my Ken, not Ken Plume, our producer, but Ken, my high school acting teacher, who I'm still very close with, he has had an EV for a few different EVs now. So he's been telling me all of these things, and just learning about it is fascinating. But the new food, it's not a new food. It's not a food I've never had before, but I went to, while in the Seattle area, we went out to Snoqualmie in North Bend, which is where they filmed Twin Peaks. So I went to the diner that they used for Twin Peaks, which was, forget what it was original. It's called the Double R Diner in the show.
Right.
It was like the T something diner, based on who owned it, and then it was Tweeds.
Was there a Twin Peaks specific dish that you were going to get, or is it just
cherry pie?
The cherry pie. There you go.
It's cherry pie, and Jennifer got coffee. We each got a cherry pie, and it, the whole thing of the show is how good the cherry pie is. So you go to the restaurant, and the restaurant is now owned. I think a couple bought it in like March, somewhere in the spring of 2020. Mm-hmm. It was like during.
That's a great time to buy a restaurant
in pandemic. Absolutely the best time.
March of 2020. Just make sure it's open by March 19th in Los 100%. Angeles. Yeah.
They know when people are coming in, when tourists come in, which a ton will, they all want to try the cherry pie. And it is the best cherry pie I've ever had.
Well, it's got to be.
the crust. It's all the crust.
Okay.
Pie fillings are generally the same.
Is it lattice crust or full cover crust?
Full cover crust, but it's got
Okay.
crystallized sugar on top.
Oh, okay.
So it's got
like
some
that.
sweetness to it. You know, you can't
Yeah.
have it be too bland. You don't want it to overpower the filling. This was like it was the right firmness, but also had the right amount of give, so it wasn't too crispy on the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything about it was.
It
It's
sounds
obvious they put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
And they have their own baker, so.
Oh, I mean, look, if you're the place that people are going to go to for the cherry pie, based entirely on a television show that famously said your place had great cherry pie, there you go.
Yeah.
It sounds like what you're describing on the top. You're like, because I'm thinking buttery. If it's a good pie crust, it's going to be a little buttery. It's going to be flaky. And then you mentioned the crystal sugar on top. My first thought was, oh, it's the whole top of it is just made of those Danish butter cookies from the blue tin that you get at Christmas time that eventually gets filled with sewing needles.
So look, every grandmother has that tin.
Yeah.
And then it is
Royal Dansk.
Yes, the the blue Royal Dansk tin, which is the ultimate sewing kit holder.
I'm gonna say right now, a pie whose entire top is Royal Dansk. I don't hate that.
No.
Yeah.
You could do way worse in your life.
Yeah. Recent new acquisition, food, or experience that I have had. I recently acquired, because Annie and I are shuffling some things around. I recently acquired a storage unit. Now, I realize this does not sound like an exciting thing to talk about, but there's something very cool about there being a building where I have a special code that my phone lets me into that's just this giant, dark hallways, just rows and rows. And as I walk, the lights just pop up on so like that, the visual of having a storage space is great, but also, holy moly, it's nice to have more room in my home. Yeah, that is a thing that I have not had in a while. Cleared some stuff out. Like, I'm not going to need Christmas decorations again until next year, so those are in the storage unit. Shirts that I like, all just, sentimental shirts that I'm not going to wear a lot. Storage unit, everything. I'm ruthless now. It is a draconian sweep through my home. There's a party going on at the storage unit because everything over there is cool and doesn't get a lot of attention. So, it's very outgoing.
There's something to the burden of stuff that builds up in your house.
Yeah.
That you don't think about. It's not something you think about because you're just acquiring it. It goes somewhere you don't really see it. But when you free up space, it's like you can breathe again.
Yeah, it's so nice. So like in the living room, it's just like there's fewer things, Yeah, I like having fewer things.
I like the look of it. You always keep a very neat place.
I keep it pretty tidy, which is why I like having a storage unit. But yeah, so that's one thing. I did go and finally get a proper version. Food-wise, I did finally get a proper version of the breakfast burrito at the Rooster. Because it was good.
Yeah.
It's a very good breakfast.
You told me about it yesterday. You went today.
Oh, that's right. I did go. I went back. No, I went. Had I gone when I saw you? Yes. I think I had just gone when I saw you yesterday.
I know you hadn't had it. You said I have to go back and get
one.
I
have to. So I hadn't. Okay. So I hadn't gone back and got
after I saw you. You went.
Yes. I went after I saw you and I got the Rooster.
And?
Delicious with the sauces. For those who don't know, I was lamenting to Hal yesterday that I had gotten this breakfast burrito that all over the internet, it was like, here's how great the sauces are. Here's how great the sauces are on this burrito. I bought the burrito. I had it to go, as they all are. It's just, bags out the door, just a steady stream. Got my burrito, ate it. I was like, it's fine. I didn't even taste the sauces. And then I looked in the bottom of the bag and there were 2 sauces. They're like signature sauces in the bottom of this paper bag. And I was very angry. So I was like, and it's on the whole other side of town, but I have to go back and I have to try it with the sauces. And I got to say, they have like this, which is weird on a breakfast burrito, this like cucumber dill yogurt sauce. Maybe cilantro. You don't like cilantro, I know.
Yeah.
But it was so good. Anyway.
And they put it in there this time? Did you say, hey, don't put the sauces in the bag, put them on the burrito? Or do you do
No, I did it myself. I just did it when I got in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Nick Sorbo asks, people of the world who actually have seasons, any good soups for soup season? I I did make a great soup the other day. I realize it's a little bit, and I was telling Hal about this too. We took a ride yesterday. It is a black bean soup. It is my favorite combo of flavors. It is black bean, pickled pumpkin. I diced and pickled some pumpkin a couple of months back, and kale and charred kale. It is a black bean, pickled pumpkin, and charred kale soup that I made based on a wrap that I got when we were in Savannah, Georgia on the Welcome to Night Vale tour. And we stopped at it because we had vegans in the cast. So we stopped at this vegan spot. And the best wrap I've ever had was a black bean pumpkin. It was either pumpkin or it was not sweet potato. What's the word I'm looking for? Squash. Butternut squash. Yeah. And kale was the wrap there. And I will think about that wrap forever. All a restaurant needs is to have one thing that I've never had before.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, you're very adventurous. That's like Michelin star style cooking. Now,
oh man, what's your soup?
So I made a chili recently, in the last couple of weeks, and then I immediately put it in my super cubes, which are those silicone.
Brilliant.
Like, yeah. So I've been having it like a serving at a time. I hate it. but I will eat it because
you
I
hate the
made
chili, or you hate the freezing it one at a time and
the chili, because what I decided to do this time was I'm gonna do both ground beef and ground sausage.
Okay.
The sausage is too much.
Sausage is a lot for chili.
And then you put the seasonings in, it's too much. Now, if it was just ground pork, maybe I would get down on it, but I think for me, I would rather just have ground beef. So I'm going to do that next time. Other than that, it was fine. Very simple, just beans, tomatoes, a little onion.
Going back to season 1, that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Did you put beans in your chili?
I did put beans in there because it's, fills it out a little bit more, extra protein. I'll take it. But so that's good for warm weather. But here's another, you're going to love this segue. I'm setting it up right now.
Oh dear.
If you have supported us in prior Max Fun drives, you may have received the Maximum Fun Family Cookbook, which has my recipe and Ken's addition, his recipe based off my recipe for matzo ball soup. It's basically a meal in a pot. And
I've made it straight from the book, exactly following the book directions, and it's great.
It's so good. Great for warm weather. Great if you're just like, it's a rainy day. Even if it's like the temperature doesn't matter. Of course, hot soups are better when it's cold. But I can have it any time of year, just when I get the hankering. But it's relatively simple to make. It tastes really, really good. I might make some today. We are going to go. We have to go for a drive after this. So there you go. Yeah.
Where are you going for a drive? Anywhere fun?
The library. Jennifer's reserved books at the library. She loves a library.
I love a library.
And then an automotive audio, like an audio place. So the car that Jennifer drives, we've had the same problem with it since we bought it 12 years ago, which is you turn the air conditioner off and then a second later it just goes and turns back on. And I've figured out from research that it's just the entire AC control unit. So I bought a replacement.
Okay.
And at the same time, it's a 12-year-old car. I made some calls like, what would it cost to take this car and give it Apple CarPlay and a backup camera? And it was so much less than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's
that
not,
I talked to the guy. Huh? Yeah, he gave me the guesstimate. That's what it was. And I said, if I bought this replacement air conditioner piece, could you put it in? Because I know it's as simple as taking it out. There's a plug. You unplug the plug in the back, plug in the new one, and it sits there. It's the same piece. It's identical. He said, yeah, it wouldn't cost any extra. So we're going to go there so he can actually look at the car and give us a proper estimate and go like, all right, well, these are the parts and here's what it would be. And we'll see if Jennifer wants to do it, because it's, you need, we park in a garage and you have to back out, and it's just in general, it's once you have a backup camera, and I think a lot of people do, you have one, obviously. Once you have one, when you get into a car without one, you're looking over your shoulders and going like, I didn't realize how much I can't see. Yeah. When I'm backing up. Because, you still, even with a camera, you're still checking your blind spots, but you can see what's right behind you.
Yeah. For some reason, my parents were like, I don't trust the camera. And I'm like, do you think it's a tape delay? Or is it like, what is, I don't understand. It is a direct visual representation. There's nothing not to trust. It's not like somebody has hacked in and is wiping out. It's very, Very ridiculous. Let me ask you a quick, before we get to Leslie's question, one quick question for you, Hal. I'm going to pose a hypothetical, and I want you to answer this as two different people from two different points of view. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I love it.
All right. You are going to get this whole console unit on the car replaced. It is Jennifer's car, but you have your thoughts on it, and you get the opportunity to IP brand that whole section with anything you want. What do you and Jennifer argue over what the IP branding is on that center section of the car?
I think I would want it to be, there are two ways to go. One is like a Jarvis heads up display. I'd want it to look like that, where it says, hello, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. The other would be Star Wars, but specifically the targeting computer on the X-Wing, that like green. I want that to be the load
with
up.
the lines closing in.
Everything's in that weird language, the hieroglyphs, so that Jennifer can't work it.
And like 70s, it looks like almost like a light bright, less like an iPhone and more like a light bright with just like boop, boop.
I would say for her, based on the shows she watches the most, Downton Abbey or Little House on the Prairie.
A Downton Abbey branded would just be like lace doilies over the things. And
yes. It would be
Bella
Pax. I'm so glad. They're always glad about things. I mean, I love the show too. I've not seen it nearly as many times as she has.
Yeah.
But I think also like a Dolly, where she's like, well, hi, thanks for starting your car.
It's just like everything about the car is normal car colors, but for some reason this is bright pink.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Then when you turn on the radio, she's like, do you want to listen to music or straight talk? Straight talk. What about you? What would your two?
The only radio station you can twist is 925. Sorry, I had to throw that last one in there.
It's been fun.
Oh no. Well, listen. Oh, there he is. Thank goodness. What would I put as my branding on the thing? Yeah, Jarvis was the first thing I thought of. Or what would be cool? Well, Batmobile. I also thought doing some Batmobile stuff. But also Stark, but vintage, like Howard Stark era, vintage 1950s futurist Stark would be cool.
Sure. Like new, like Art Deco, new mid-century kind of look to it, like that kind of feel to the
exactly. Which I still would love to see them turn Tomorrowland at Disneyland into. Howard Stark's Tomorrowland with that big red rocket in the back. Come on.
Would have been smart.
Hal, you were on an episode of Meddling Adults.
I was with former guest of ours, Mike Schubert, who's a good guy. We should have him back for sure.
Heck yeah.
And it's they break down episodes of Scooby-Doo. You try to figure out who did it.
It's so brilliant. It's brilliant.
I think I talked about Cam Jansen, which were the mystery books I read as a kid. And she could look at things. She had a photographic memory, but she had to look at it and go click, and then she would remember.
She had to say the word click?
Yeah, she would say it. She would do like a click like that with her hands too.
Listen, man, I don't have a photographic memory. I don't know what the mnemonics are and what requirements they have, but God bless.
By the way, I was talking about the soup before.
Yeah.
And saying, that was a Max Fun Drive.
You did a segue and then did not segue into the Max Fun Drive.
Well, I thought about the soup. I was like, I would like that soup. That's how good the soup is. But Max Fun Drive is coming soon.
Yes, it is.
It will be announced. Who knows when it's going to be announced? Soonish. And we're going to talk more about our specific stuff a little bit later today to get you noodling, get you excited for it. But in the meantime, any new Star Wars items in your collection, Hal? Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, my friend. What is the last? Well, I actually have a gift that was given to me by Ken Plume and Joseph Scrimshaw. So let me get that. That is the latest gift.
Oh, well, while Hal is getting that gift, why is the new Star Wars item collection only directed toward Hal? I can't get Star Wars items for my collection. The happy belated birthday I get being for him. But guess what? I too, and Ken, I've not. I'm assuming you're still listening to this. I have not thanked you in person yet for this, But I would like to also point out the new Star Wars gift that I received.
Let's see it.
Did you want to go first or second, Hal?
No, you go first because you.
I'm very excited
right
about
there.
this. I do have it right here. Ken, I believe, has been 3D printing now, which is a new thing, which is delightful. And so now I am the proud owner of a gingerbread-esque Han Solo in carbonite with a kind message on the back. But when I got this, and like, here's how specific it was to being like a gingerbread house. The round ones on the side, he's actually done like the peppermint candy swirl. Like, it is specific. And Ken, thank you. I cherish my new carbonite Han Solo. And because it's gingerbread, it might become a Christmas tree ornament.
I don't have the gift I was given because it's downstairs, but I have a 3D printed R2D2 dreidel.
Really?
It's also lovely. Yes.
How do you print it? Do you spin him on the top of his head?
You print the pieces that I think you put him together. Yeah, it's like you've wrapped R2D2 around a dreidel. So under his feet, you see it's almost like looks like a sleeve, like an R2D2 sleeve. But the gift that I was given, this is I think a Disney online exclusive. It is Life Day Chewbacca.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Life Day Chewbacca.
The golden, the crystal orb. It's got his robe on.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad you got it. I remember those were sold out.
Yes.
Because I went down there to the park, to Galaxy's Edge, to all the spots, and they're like, oh, we're all out of those. No, those are gone. Sold out.
And I had it. I had the pleasure of having it hand delivered by Joseph Scrimshaw himself.
Amazing.
Which gave me an excuse to show him all the Star Wars stuff here.
Has he not seen the wall and all this stuff like in its proper layout?
No, he got to look at it close. And people have the same thing of like, they kind of want to take stuff and look at it. I'm like, go it's in a case. Take a look. But he's very, reverent of the stuff. It's like, anything you want, please take a look at it. That is the latest. I have not bought anything for myself, but this is very, very cool.
Good.
And it sits in my closet right now because I need to get a protector for it so that I can put it out. Because this is the one non-vintage Star Wars piece that I will proudly display. Because
have you been to Daiso? Do you know the store Daiso?
No.
I've just been introduced to this. It's great. It's a Japanese store. Imagine like that last section of IKEA where it's all handheld size things. Imagine that, but smaller, kitschier, more niche, and Japanese. That is Daiso. And one section they have there is an assortment of cases in all sizes, and they're like $3. They're super cheap. Everything there's really cheap. I thought of you and your collection of stuff and thought you could have a field day going in this place. I've got to go in and get some for a few things that I have. The one that I'm still super jealous of behind you is that Jabba in the palace, because that was one I had as a kid.
Oh yeah, the Jabba plate. You can get one for like $20.
I know, but
it's not expensive.
I much rather enjoy you having it and me seeing it and being like,
that's
an awesome toy.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
The funny thing is they made so many of those sets that weren't sold. Like you can get, if I lost his hookah or his little fish bowl,
which I lost immediately.
Those. Yeah. Oh, you lose stuff right away. I mean, right next to him in that plastic case, you can't really see is Sice Noodles and the Rebo band. And I lost the instruments and microphones right away. But the Jabba, if you needed to replace those pieces, they are like, you could buy them in their original Kenner plastic bags that they came sealed in.
No kidding.
In bulk. You can buy them in bulk at a very reasonable price.
Let me ask you this. Which one of them is Sice Noodles?
Sice Noodles is the singer.
Who's the keyboardist?
The long mouth. That's Max Rebo.
Okay, Max Rebo. Is there any relationship Jersey McCool? That's a made
Droopy McCool.
Droopy McCool. So what's it? Cy Rebo?
Sice Noodles. And the Rebo band. Rebo.
Okay.
It's his band.
My question is this.
Yes.
Is there a relationship, a correlation, a faraway kinship between Max Rebo and Hooter from Captain EO? Well, or do they just have the same keyboard?
It's all George Lucas.
They're essentially the same character.
Yeah, all the clues are there.
Man.
I think
Mr.
I've
Police,
never
I
even-
gave you all the clues.
Yeah,
It's on this piece of paper right here.
This is brand new for me. This is speaking of new things, by the way,
What's that?
we were talking about SAG screeners yesterday,
Mhm.
and so I finally, when you're doing it streaming, you have to download like 7 different apps,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is stuff. The Disney stuff is almost entirely like things I've already watched,
And
like
already
The
the stuff that's
Mandalorian,
all already on
Yeah.
Plus, yeah.
except for Poor Things,
Which I'm so excited to watch.
which we watched last night.
How is it?
It took Jennifer a second to get into it because it's really bizarre.
Yeah.
But once she hooked it, I think it's spectacular. Emma Stone is so good.
It's the
Everybody
dude
in
that
it
did
is
The
great.
Favorite, right?
Yes, same guy.
Yeah.
And she's
And
great
she's
in it.
great in his
Willem
stuff.
Dafoe is fantastic.
Oh, he's so
Mark
fun and weird.
Ruffalo. This is not something Mark Ruffalo's really done a lot of before, and he is spectacular in it.
Oh,
So good.
All right.
It's definitely worth watching and a very interesting dissection of our society and the roles within it and the expectations within it.
good. I'm in. It's the next one on my list.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that, and I also saw that we got some like big budget stuff that I hadn't seen yet, and I was like, oh, good. I like it when big budget stuff gets Oscar or gets SAG Award nominations, so we get a free copy of a Mission Impossible movie. I was like,
Oh,
yes.
it's so good. It's good, isn't it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet. It's
No.
good. You'll like it. It's good.
Yeah, fired up.
Yeah.
What's our next question? Whoa. Okay, this is a bit like a topic, but we'll of course dive in. Congrats on getting your 9th tattoo, Tracy. Best place in the body to get one. Oh, well, you don't have any tattoos, Hal, right?
No, I'm in addition to being Jewish, I am scared. I have enough
Scared of
needles going
needles.
in and out of my body all the time with my various medical issues
Yeah.
that I do not need I don't need one going really fast a bunch of times and drawing on me.
Yeah. That's
But I think I'm not reverence. I think tattoo art is cool, and I like that people. I get it as a form of expression, even if it's not. That's the thing, is like it doesn't really matter what I think about it at all. But it's fascinating that what that has, or maybe it always was, just this means of either identification with a group or expressions or reminders or tributes. I think they're just lovely. I don't know where's the least, like up here, the standard
you know
heart.
what's funny? This I got. So
Popeye?
when I got mine, I got it right here.
Yeah,
And because in my brain, like that's tattoo spot.
sure.
You know what I mean? That's where tattoos go, because in movies of 1950s toughs who don't have sleeves, that's where the tattoos were. Popeye's got the top side of his forearms with the anchors. He also has those crazy massive forearms. So
Yes.
you got something like, you got a canvas like that, you got to paint it, right?
Correct.
I don't think the answer is your face, because Jobs.
Yeah, those are the ones I look at and go, oh, at some point, you might not want that there, and it's harder to, even if you laser remove it. I've seen people with laser removals,
Yeah.
like it's gone, but it's sort of like when you erase pencil marks, and you haven't written anything yet, and you still see like the ghost of the words.
Yep.
But I don't know where if you weren't okay, so you got it because you thought that was tattoo place. If you were blank canvas again, you wanted to get that tattoo again.
Well,
Where would
that
you put it
also
now?
depends on size too, I think. For a
Well,
smaller
sure.
tattoo, and the reason you want it. For a reminder tattoo, do I want to be reminded when I look in the mirror in the morning? Do I want to be reminded constantly? So in that case, I'd say like I've always liked like right here, forearms and stuff.
Soft.
What's that?
Hurt. Soft will hurt.
Painful. Yeah. Yeah, I like, you know what I like? I like a good rib cage tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Too much bone will hurt.
So too soft will hurt. Too much bone will hurt.
Will hurt. Yes.
Where wouldn't hurt, Pumpkin?
on someone else.
Okay, so
You
the
get
best
that too.
place,
I
the
clap.
best place on the body to get a tattoo is on someone else's body.
Yeah.
Which one of you two does a better Mark Twain impersonation? Well, I'll tell you, one of the things I have in solid rotation is the audio file from the American Adventure.
You're doing
Know how long it is? It's narrated by, I'm doing the full Mark Twain rocking back and forth in his easy chair on stage in Epcot. So I don't know if it's an authentic Mark Twain, but it's an Epcot Mark Twain. And ain't that a good enough one for you?
I'll do an impression of me watching Hal Holbrook do Mark Twain when I was a teenager. You ready?
Yeah. I knew that was coming, you jerk. That was an Mark Twain Tonight, starring Hal Holbrook. It was an amazing one-man show. The first one-man show I ever saw.
I really wanted to see it. I was excited to see it. I liked Mark Twain as a wit. I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the books of his that I was assigned to read as a child, and I just found it so like he was doing that show for him, which is, there's nothing wrong, I mean, you obviously want to do things that speak to you and have meaning to you. What I mean is, like, it felt like he was very satisfied with the work he was doing. And
aren't I, Hal Holbrook, a genius?
Yeah, it was maybe like a little too indulgent.
Yeah.
Like
any one person show is self-indulgent.
Yeah, like if you told a joke and you did the punchline and you stared for too long, like waiting for the laugh that might not be coming, like and the rooster said, "Not my cup of tea."
More
cigar.
Lean back.
The cigar smoking. I was really disappointed. Is this a new shirt? Have I not?
You've worn this one, but I don't think people can see us when we do our podcast recordings. Always be yourself unless you can be a gorilla. For
Then
those
always
who
be
are
a
just
gorilla.
listening.
I was wearing a real cool shirt the other day on Thursday. Unfortunately, that's in the wash, which is, I bought it in Seattle. Yeah, I've really expanded. I have 2 Seattle t-shirts now. I got this one. It is a green shirt, but it is Seattle Supersonics green. And then in yellow, it has the city skyline and the basketball, their classic logo of the skyline. Yeah. And then it says "Bring them back." And in the background, in fainter yellow, is in alphabetical order the last name of every player who ever played for the Seattle Supersonics.
That's very cool. Because they became the Thunder, right?
They became the Thunder. It is a crime against the city of Seattle. They deserve a franchise. Nothing like, I have no problem with OKC having a team. I think they've become. I was there in the first year or two. I went to a game in Oklahoma City, and they were still learning to be NBA fans, which was adorable. But
he looked down the bridge of his Philadelphia nose.
Oh, they're still figuring out. They didn't know the chants. They couldn't get it together for the defense, because they're college football mostly.
Yeah,
out that way. But I would love to see Seattle get the Supersonics back and their franchise history back, and then let OKC just have their legacy from their time there. I've got a question for you, Gags. I'm going to ask it. Did you base Croach's voice on Spirit from G.I. Joe? Because I was rewatching last night, and it sounded eerily familiar.
I did not base Croach's voice on Spirit from G.I. Joe. Croach was a combination of Tonto from the Lone Ranger and Mr. Spock.
Yeah.
But I was trying desperately also not to do a First Nations Native American voice and try and make it lean more heavily on the Spock of it.
More the rhythms.
More the rhythms. The rhythms of someone who has never had an emotion, does not understand an emotion. So everything would be flat for that. And
Yeah. But it has the timbre.
it has the
timbre
timbre
and cadence of
yes.
Tonto without being like
Right.
patently offensive.
Exactly. Speaking of shirts, is that the whole thing? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. You know what? We do have a design for that. I have not sent it in. That's my fault. But I bet you we could get into the store in time for Max Fun Drive, and that'll be another fun
segue.
thing.
Another good segue.
Another fun thing. Do you want to talk about? We talk about goal last. We always set goals. For those of you who are watching this either now or on replay and have not been part of Max Fun Drive, it's where you become a member at maxfun.org/join. Support our show with a membership that creates a recurring monthly contribution, and we create goals for a number of new or upgrading members.
Yeah.
And last year, our final stretch goal was doing hot ones, getting the wings and doing a clean slate with hot ones. That is available on the bonus feed for members. And Mark is at work editing the video for that. So that will go on the bonus feed as well.
It was a surprising day.
It really was.
The reactions to the hot wings were delightful and surprising.
And the long-term consequences.
And the long-term consequences, it turns out.
Yeah. Who knew that could be dangerous? My doctor did. Didn't ask him first.
See, this is why the only needles that go into you, Hal, should be tattoo needles. Getting that tattoo of Jarvis across your chest.
Yeah, but for this year, do you want to tell everybody what we're looking at as our potential final goal?
Final goal. We haven't talked about that because maybe
it's not the final goal. I thought it was the final goal.
It's a goal.
This could be the final goal.
This could be the final goal. Maybe the final goal is if we get 10 million subscribers, one of us hang glides into the Grand Canyon or something. I don't know.
Oh.
But at a certain number of subscribers, so Hal and I, it's no secret that Hal and I are big trivia fans. We love trivia. We love playing trivia. We are both, I would argue, pretty good at trivia. And one of us runs, whichever side he's on your screen, runs a 10K. Hal gets a tattoo. Perfect, Tracy.
100K, I'll get a tattoo.
100K, Hal will get a tattoo. And one of us runs a trivia game. So trivia is something that's in our blood. And we would love to have a Team Mark and Hal versus Team People of the World trivia battle. I think that would be a lot of fun. Ken is figuring out ways to craft a way to form said Team of the People of the World, rather with some preliminary rounds or something like that, which we could read the questions for, a la Beat Bobby Flay, where he has two people and he hosts them and then they turn around and battle. Or like on Win Ben Stein's Money, which I was going to be a contestant on.
Right.
But they always have one extra contestant per day, right? You know this about game shows?
You were the alternate.
I was the alternate for that day. They told us that they picked the alternate out of a hat, was how they did it. What I found out later when I worked on a game show is they're like, oh, no, for any game show, you just pick whoever looks like the most boring contestant. So it turns out on that day of Win Ben Stein's Money, I was the most boring contestant in the room.
That's amazing. Wouldn't have thought that in a million years.
But hopefully we'll be more entertaining contestants against a team of the people of the world. Do you get Johnny? Yes, Johnny, you get to choose the tattoo. No, Johnny specifically gets to choose the tattoo.
I guess
Philly pretzel.
100K.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do a Philly pretzel. How about
a pretzel rod?
A soft pretzel in between two rods, like the skull and crossbones. I would do that.
Mashed potatoes.
Speaking of trivia, let's do a little trivia because we're running short on time.
In our last 10 minutes.
In the meantime, while Ken is loading in,
okay.
You talked about we went on a ride yesterday. We are also, this is tied to Max Fun Drive. We are going on a ride tomorrow because the bonus episode will be best fast food hamburger. So Mark and I will be taking to the road.
We will
to taste test a series of hamburgers in the car and you will get to hear the results and know once and for all. And we're not going to like rallies or checkers because
No, we're going to the big
they're not
chains that
winning.
everybody knows. No, they're not winning.
Only potential winners.
Yeah.
It's not exhaustive. This is elite.
This is elite SoCal and this is elite SoCal national change with maybe a dip into an In-N-Out and a Five Guys.
Yeah.
Just to see what the hype
I wish there was a
about.
Whataburger out here. Because that would be.
There's not a Whataburger out here somewhere?
No, that's Texas. Texas maybe.
What's the Philadelphia one?
There isn't one.
There's no. Oh, I'm thinking of Wawa, which is
Wawa's,
sandwiches.
the convenience store, yeah.
All right, Ken, load us up some trivia questions. What do you got?
Well,
Producer Ken Plume, for those who have not met producer Ken Plume.
Oh, and Ken has a Amazon wish list with a lot of cool stuff on it as a way you can support him outside of patreon.com/Ken Plume, because he deserves individual support for all the work he does outside of the show. But do you think you could add to that wish list the Infinity Saga Trivial Pursuit box?
I'm sure if it's on Amazon, I can add it.
If a Person of the World bought that would be a fun one
To add
what
to
I'm saying is I don't want to spend the money on it. I actually might buy it for myself.
And Ken, now that we have you on screen,
nothing.
Now that we have you on screen, let me say to your face, thank you for my Han Solo, my friend.
You're very welcome.
This is
That's
cool.
that's an all year decoration. You can just prop that up anywhere.
Yeah,
I know, but I love that it feels so Christmassy because it feels like a gingerbread house. This
What's
detail
great
was
for
what
my
blew my
horrible
mind.
painting skills. Sloppy frosting on that thing was perfect for my limited skills.
It sounds like an improv team.
I was just gonna say.
Stop thinking an improv.
What's up? We're sloppy frosting. Can I get a suggestion for a location that would fit on the stage? Not a bathroom.
Can I be the person who's off to the side like this while we're getting the suggestion? Like,
who never goes in? Never ever goes in.
I'm the one who stands there like this, probably
Oh
more.
my god!
Just trying to hide my body from everyone.
All right, what do you got for us, Ken?
Your first question.
How are we doing this? Is it 2-1 of us, or are we just ringing in? We're just saying it aloud first.
Say it aloud first.
Okay.
Let's make it chaotic.
And we have to wait till you finish saying the thing. We got to know the rules. We got to
wait till I
you
have
finish
finished saying the question completely.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? We'll be mature about it. Raise your hand. Whoever I see raise their hand first. This is real time.
Okay.
And it's visual medium, so
not the raise your hand button, an actual. Oh, there's not one on this. I thought we were on Zoom for a second.
no.
Okay.
Your
Not buzz
question
marketing.
is,
Yeah.
who earned $1.5 million a year playing a presidential press secretary, while Ari Fleischer got a paltry $145,000 being the real one? Mark Gagliardi, your answer.
Allison Janney.
Allison Janney is correct.
He raised his hand early.
I did raise my hand early.
But you didn't do that at all, Hal.
He got locked out.
Have.
Let me buzz in.
I didn't get locked out. We were playing that. We changed the rule from the you got to yell thing.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
I
Well,
What's funny is he's going to be reading, so we could both just have our hands up, and he'll just arbitrarily pick
I
one
can
of us.
see motion.
Motion.
Why do you think I was reading with the card?
Hey, everybody,
close to the
we're
camera?
Motion. Can I get a suggestion for a favorite book title?
Wow. You too. You know what? We're going to do World Tour Trivia then.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah, man. When do we start the tour?
Your tour starts right now. What film and... Well, now it's whoever puts their hand down first after I'm done reading. Which film and music festival takes place in March each year in Austin, Texas?
South by Southwest.
He did not pick you yet.
You were going to say my name. I could tell.
Do you know what the South by Southwest West connection is between Hal and I, Mark?
The South by Southwest connection between the two of you is you both went there once in the same year doing Dragon Con bits.
No. That was the first time I met Hal in real life.
Oh, really? How long did you
South
guys know
by
each other
Southwest.
online before you met each other?
A couple months.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and then we
Because he had Ben
realized
Acker on, and they'd said my name, and I was like, "Hey, why are you insulting me?" And then Ken said,
and
"Sorry,"
pronouncing
and
it
then
incorrectly numerous
and-
times.
and pronouncing it incorrectly. I was like, "What the
Lubin.
hell? This is the struggle of my life."
But then Hal angled that into, "Can I be on the show? You
Yeah,
want me on as a guest, right?"
Why you must have me on.
And it was the start of a beautiful relationship. And I was
That's
there
right.
promoting a film that I had produced. And Hal, you were there. What were you doing?
I was there representing the company that I worked for. I was in charge of social media at the time, so I was there for Interactive. But then I stuck around. Might have been that year or another year. I was there for a day or two late, so I hung out with Ben Jaffe, Howlin' Ben Jaffe,
Howlin'.
who was there,
Howlin' Ben
and he
Jaffe.
took me, and we went to a couple shows together. It was really, the music stuff's amazing.
Thrilling Adventure Hour guitarist Howlin' Ben Jaffe, for those who don't know.
Didn't you two do Thrilling at South by Southwest one year?
No,
That never happened.
We did.
Blacker's gone for panels before.
Yeah, we did our improv show at the Austin Improv Festival.
Yeah, Out of Bounds, Labor
Out
Day
of
weekend.
bounds. Yeah.
So, boy, what good times. Hal and I did a very, very long riff on Penny Marshall as E.T.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Lasted about 45 minutes, Hal.
That's a generously low estimate. And then we went and got barbecue with Rebecca Watson.
We did. It was a great time. Good times. Things happen. Okay. Well, you know what? This is a good segue for that then. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Hands up. And it's whoever moves their hand to the opposite side of the screen first.
Okay.
Okay? So
Yeah.
moving it towards your head.
Okay. I have to really concentrate.
After I'm done reading the question, at which point I will raise my hand, and that is the cue.
Oh, okay. All right.
What is
Well,
happening?
This is great. So many rules. I love it.
And then just yell it out like Hal did, because I could have also just yelled
I
South by Southwest.
have to call on you, and then you can quietly, with moderation
Very quietly.
and maturity,
NPR
state
style.
your answer.
All right. The answer is
Your question is: the American Royal World Series of Barbecue takes place each year in which city? That's Mark Gagliardi. What's your answer?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yes.
Which Kansas City?
They're the same city. They're just straddle a river.
Mm.
Missouri.
Doesn't say on the card, but I thought I would ask you.
I assume that royal was the key word in there.
Kansas City is correct.
Yes.
Did you know
City Royals.
Swope Park in Kansas City is more than twice the size of Central Park?
Did she say? Did you say Swole Park?
Swope.
Swope.
Swope. I
Swope
think you
Park.
said. I was like, oh man, if Muscle Beach renamed themselves Swole Park down in Venice.
Like if the character is Leslie Swope.
Sure.
Yeah.
The past tense of swipe.
Yeah.
Buck Swope from Boogie Nights. That's Don Cheadle's character.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Owns a stereo store.
This time,
Probably went out of business. Yep.
this time, I'm going to read the question.
Uh-huh.
I will cover my face. As soon as my face is fully covered
Okay.
within frame, then whoever covers their face entirely in frame first.
How are you going to see whose face is fully covered first? If your face is fully covered.
Mark,
Don't worry about
ready
that.
for the question?
No,
Are
I
you
don't
ready for the
understand
question?
it. So the
Well,
way that
you know
I
what?
let you
That's
know
your-
if I got it is I do this.
Fully covered. That's not fully covered.
What
I'm
is
sorry.
fully covered? This is
You're never fully covered without a smile.
I can still see part of your face.
that's covered.
Your question is, what did the famous Hollywood sign above Los Angeles originally say?
Hollywoodland.
I'm sorry, Mark has been disqualified.
You didn't disqualify Hal for
face
doing
was
the
not-
same thing.
My face was not fully covered.
I couldn't tell if your
My
face was covered
face
because I
was
had to
not fully
cover
covered.
mine.
No,
I
you
hate
had to
this
wait
game.
until
I
I
hate
covered
trivia.
my face.
I hate trivia so much.
Can I
Where
guess?
did Hal go?
Can I
Has
guess?
anyone seen Hal?
Hal, my face is not fully covered yet. So
I can't
you
see
need-
because my face is so covered.
Hal, your answer?
Hollywoodland.
That is correct.
I lost my earpiece down my shirt.
I mean, Sarah said it.
Can't ask for chaos. The boys.
Should we do one
delivered.
more?
Yeah,
One
we'll
more.
do one more. One
How
more,
about
and
give
then we
us
got
the
to go.
connections that we can do together?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Of course,
We could
that
just play today's connections.
You sure you don't want the WWE Superstar Handbook?
Nope.
No, let's do a lightning round of
Throw that in a
connections
river.
that we can do together. Yeah, that's perfect.
Of course, that is the thing that is furthest from where I had all of these things, so it takes a bit. I have updated.
Let's play a game of What's in Ken's Laundry Room. Ready, go.
I have updated the wish list with the Infinity Saga.
Nice.
I think we were also talking about updating it with a more modern than 2008 version of Trivial Pursuit as well, right?
I have the Genus edition from 79, I think it is. And
Something tells me those questions are even more problematic than the 2008 edition.
there's some problematic questions in there, but there's also some like this partially debunked theory claims that the universe was created in a big bang. But we all know this isn't true.
Oh, did you know that there is a History Channel trivia game, Mark?
I swear if this History Channel trivia game is about
World
ancient
War II.
aliens and Oak Island and Pawn Stars and not about actual
And
history,
you
I'm
will
gonna be
get the answer
pissed.
to every question.
I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, and Hal, there's also a Friends edition.
Are you going to ask? Are you just
The Trivial
looking at the
Pursuit.
Amazon page for
Well, now I'm
trivia?
just looking at the Trivial Pursuit stuff. You
TikTok, bud. We
started
got to
this.
end at
Wait, hold
noon.
on.
Yeah, I know. We got 3 minutes. You're good. Relax.
Tell me to
TikTok,
relax.
We got to
And
Hold on a
you
second.
tell me to relax.
You're just gonna go hang
Yeah.
out in your storage unit. And you know it.
I love my storage unit.
Put my watch on.
I'm going to hang out
Walking
in my
down,
storage unit
thinking
and
that
love
you're
it.
in the
It's not charged. Screw this watch.
opening of Get Smart. Your connections. This is a Linky card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
It's
one.
Linky. It's Linky. It's a wonderful card.
Okay,
Ready.
here we go. What 1980s remake of a sci-fi classic features Jeff Goldblum turning into a giant insect?
The
The
fly.
Okay, that's your first connection.
Okay.
Second question. What did Yankee Doodle stick in his hat and call macaroni?
Feather.
A feather.
Fly,
Correct.
feather.
Vast distances
Oh,
in
these
space.
are boxing weight classes.
Flyweight, featherweight. Let's see what
That is
the
correct.
Nice. Well done. Did you just change your lighting around so that
Why
we
did
could
you-
see?
Yeah.
Oh, so because Thor's hammer is glowing. All right, let's
This
do
is
another
how
connection.
badly Hal wants this Infinity Saga questions. Your next one is
You're my favorite dork, and I love you.
which tea invention was patented in New York in 1903?
Tea invention?
Which tea invention?
T
A
E
tea bag.
The bag.
The bag.
Bag is your.
Bag. Okay.
What
bag.
are Capital One, Chase, and Deutsche
Banks.
examples of? Correct.
Bag,
What does an
bank.
things that hold
origami-
money?
Nope. What does an origami expert need to ply their trade?
Paper.
Brangelina was made up of two people, Angelina Jolie and Brad.
Pit.
Pit.
Okay, so your four connecting words. that you've
Paper,
gotten.
pit.
Bag. Banks, paper, and pit.
Oh,
Looking to see.
the stock exchange.
What?
What?
I think it's going to be a fill in the blank.
What?
It's gonna
I don't think you're
said
worthy
that?
of holding that hammer up anymore.
It's going to
Put
be
it down.
something blank or blank something is my guess.
Looking to see if the people of the world have not gotten it yet.
Bag. Banks.
Bag,
Paper,
banks,
pit.
paper, pit. Bag, banks, paper, pit.
Hi, we're Bag Banks Paper Pit. Can we get a suggestion for a buffet?
Sand. Sand blank.
Sand is
Sandpaper,
correct.
sandbags.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I knew it was a fill in the blank one.
I don't know if I've ever heard sand pit used before.
You have never gone adventuring,
In
my
Tennessee.
friend.
True.
In Tennessee.
That's true. I learned something new, and I'm proud.
We have quicksand pits there.
I will post the Amazon wish list for anyone who would who feels inclined to do so, and please don't feel obligated to us to do that. But the Amazon wish list link will be put in the Facebook group and also in the description of this video below right after we're done recording. So you'll find it there. Do you want to tease next week's episode as we go out?
What? I don't know.
I don't remember what it is.
Do you want to tease
we've been recording a couple episodes a week.
Do you want to tease that we're doing a show that people can listen to?
We do have a show that people can listen to on the Maximum Fun Network called We Got This with Mark and Hal.
No,
did I get all this stuff?
I can tease what the next episode is.
Okay. Is it a guest one or is it just us?
No, it is not a guest one. It is.
Which one is it?
Would you like? Can you remember any of the topics we've recorded recently?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So the last episode that came out was best vending machine snack.
Yeah.
At which point, people, look at your phones.
Hot fries.
Look at your phones right now. I'm sending you a text, and I would like you both.
You're sending. You said people like you're sending a text to all the people of the world.
No, to you, Mark, you, Hal.
Okay.
Say the word I just texted you.
Hold on, I'm being interrogated.
Oh,
I found a way to make my lighting work.
For some reason, this has become a point of discussion in the Facebook group. So I just like to hear what you say.
All right. I say it two different ways. I say if I'm talking about the nut, I say pecan. If I'm talking about the pie, I frequently will say pecan pie. I think pecan is, in my family lore, the correct pronunciation, but sometimes I will say pecan pie just because it is a more evocative pronunciation of the very southern joy that it gives me.
Yeah, I say pecan because I married a southern woman, and that's the first time I ever had pecan pie.
Pecan pie is so good.
Plus the Elvis song, he sings pecan. He doesn't sing pecan.
Yeah.
And as far as teasing the next episode, I will say it is a gadget episode.
Oh,
if you like gadget discussions.
Oh yeah,
this was
a good
fun.
One.
I like this
see.
It is a gadget.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Episode.
So many gadgets.
Well, should we wrap this up and say thank you to everybody? Let's do that.
You putting it to a vote?
What's that? No, I was trying to segue and I was inelegant about it, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hal says yes. I also say yes.
Great.
To the people of the world, thank you for joining us for this. These questions are closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So check us out via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or
you can email. No, sorry.
We're doing the old version.
I was like, he's going to do the whole thing.
X died. Yeah.
Just go to Facebook group. You're watching it there probably.
You're on the Facebook group probably.
If you're watching it on YouTube, thank you.
Yeah,
we
amen.
Appreciate it. But facebook.com/group/wegotThisPodcast. It's where all the cool people are hanging out, having conversations, saying what they liked, what they didn't like, but being nice about it. And isn't that refreshing and a change for the internet? Facebook.com/group/wegotThisPodcast. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Ken Plume. Thank you, Ken Plume, for producing this as you always do. I can see you in the green room area looking off to the side. Nope, now you're looking at the camera. Now you've covered it with your hand. Again, Ken keeps us organized, gives us great ideas, keeps everything on track, makes the show sound great, and makes these things look great, except for my lighting. That's my fault.
You wanted to make everybody see the Mjolnir.
That's right. You can support him at patreon.com/Ken Plume. Thank you also on an episode by episode basis to researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, who do our podcast score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world. Like Hal said, we get a chance to sit down and do this and have fun. And thanks to Ken for making it look great. But thanks to the people of the world for showing up, for asking questions, for chatting. You are all wonderful, wonderful, kind, brilliant people. And it is fun to get roasted by you, and joy and grief and everything delightful that comes with this Facebook group and this group of people and this podcast community. So to you all, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got
this.
Max Fun Drive coming soon. Get ready for.
Yes, and all that stuff too.
Raise your hand.